we're on all 3 platforms. I guess, okay. Okay, I'm checking. Right, so streaming on all platforms now. On Instagram, so if you want to, you can, please. You can invite people to come in to have their input into this. So if you invite your followers, friends on whichever platform to come in, that would be greatly appreciated. So now the title again is, how far would you go or have gone to get the one you want? Right, I've put up the title on all platforms, so if you're in the room, you can add your comments so I can see. If you want to come up into the room, I know there's something we can come where you can do those, you can get screens with people coming up into the room. So thank you for those who are already in here. I'm hungry, I haven't had anything, so I'm just eating and got my tea. And if you are in another part of the world, let me know where you're watching and listening from, please. Had someone in here, but I think as soon as I heard there's on all platforms, they hopped it. So has anyone got any inputs to make on the topic? Oh, pepper. I put lots of pepper. I've got my pot noodles. That's what I'm having right about now. And my peppermint tea. So, how far would you go or have gone to get the one you want? Or, as someone came in already said, he doesn't have to do the chasing, all the ladies chase him. He's never had to do it. So, right, let's see if I can. Hopefully I haven't shut the room down. No, it's not down. Brilliant. Right, I'm going to play a little, I'm going to play the bit from if I can pull it up so you can hear as to what. Right, this is now what you're going to hear is it's long, so I won't play all of it, I don't think. It's from Duke and Chanel, is how we reconnected. Right, I'm going to see if I can.
But it wasn't nothing serious, so I was like, I could live without that.
So what's up? You want to set us off? Stop talking video. and how we made video. All right, because this is going to give you a lot of context to how we got here.
Yes, and we actually also celebrated our 3-year anniversary. We've been kicking it for 3 years now. That's your word, and I just took it. Yeah, we've been kicking it. We've been officially kicking it for 3 years now.
I don't know.
We celebrated our 3-year anniversary.
That's right.
So,
how
this is
much
just a
you
real
can see.
timely, sexy vibe that we put together to talk about how we got to this point.
Yeah. So what's up? You want to set us off?
Wait, first of all, I need y'all to grab a drink because it's about to get juicy.
Okay.
Let's get
Oops, I thought I could.
into it.
Okay. So where we start? Where do we leave off?
So if you listen carefully.
You remember what happened when we stopped talking?
Well, I remember last sending you a text. I was out. I always text you when I'm out at night. Like, it's just that it'd be the liquor. And at the time, it'd be the Hennessy. But, so I remember being out one night, and I text him, and I was like, hey, are you out? Are you in the city? I think I said something like that. And he texted me back. But he was like, oh, I'm with some friends right now. And I was like, leave your friends.
So this is Chanel and Duke, if you want to follow them on YouTube. And this is how they reconnected. So if you need to want to know their whole story, then you have to go and watch them to get to this point where they are now. So let's continue. I'm trying to make these, because I've got so much wires going on here. I can't even, right, I'm going to try and see if I can turn the phones and the everything so they can, right, let's.
For context, right? So,
in the meantime.
So if you're a new viewer, you shouldn't be watching this unless you watched the previous episodes. But what happened was in 2017.
Oh, we gotta give dates,
There
right?
we go.
In 2017, that's when we first started dating, right? And towards
Oh,
the end of our fling, or I guess we could call it, towards the end of our fling, we kind of stopped. We just stopped dating, right? But like 2 months after we stopped dating, she still wanted to get like a last hurrah type deal, or she actually said she wanted to kind of like patch things up.
I did.
Right?
I did because
I guess 2 in 1, right? She wanted the hurrah, and she wanted the conversation, the closure or the opening conversation.
Yeah, because I usually get what I want.
So it's early 2018 at this point. It's January, right? I'm in New York, getting ready to come back to LA. And I haven't spoken to her in 2 months. And she texted me out of the blue and was like, hey, like, what's going on? Like, what you doing? Or I'm like, yo, I'm actually going to a birthday party tonight and then going to link up with some friends. And she said, okay, cool. Well, like, the last time we spoke, we didn't end on bad terms. We didn't end on good terms. So,
yeah.
I think we should, like, fix that, right? And I'm like, okay, cool. I'm like, okay, cool. Let's do that. I'll hit you, when I leave here, right? But I can't make no promises because I already, I'm in motion on the streets already. My homie's in town, so I already got plans. Although I did like her, she can't just like go out of my life and then come back in my life thinking that we just gonna.
I'm just gonna stop this a minute because I think I have put Clubhouse on mute. Let me take off there we go. Right, so when they come in, they can hear what's going on.
Like it wasn't nothing, right? And at this point, it's January, right? I'm in New York, getting ready to come back to LA. And I haven't spoken to her in 2 months. And she texted me out of the blue and was like, hey, like, what's going on? Like, what you doing? Or I'm like, yo, I'm actually going to a birthday party tonight and then going to link up with some friends. And she said, okay, cool. Well, like, the last time we spoke, we didn't end on bad terms. We didn't end on good terms. So,
yeah.
I think we should, like, fix that, right? And I'm like, okay, cool. I'm like, okay, cool. Let's do that. I'll hit you, when I leave here, right? But I can't make no promises because I already, I'm in motion on the streets already. my homies in town, so I already got plans. Although I did like her, she can't just like go out of my life and then come back in my life thinking that we just gonna pick up right where we left off like it wasn't nothing, right? And what's that?
Nothing. Keep going.
Like I said, right? She thought we was just gonna I was gonna drop what I had going on. It's just like
Respectfully, you could have finished what you was doing and then make plans with me. But
okay. That's fair. So that didn't come to fruition, right? Long story short, right? We don't have to get into like the details of that night. Long story short, I didn't end up seeing her, right? She wanted me to see her that night, but I just didn't end up seeing her, and then that was the last.
Right, so I've just stopped that. So the title is, and I'll put it on all three platforms. How far would you go or have gone to get the one you want? It's in the initial chase, and if there was a break in the relationship, and then one of you had to fight to get it, or both of you had to fight to get it back, how far did you go? How far would you go? How far have you gone? Has it happened? That is the question. So how far would you go or have gone to get the one you want? This is the one you really, really want. How far would you go? Okay, let's continue with Chanel and Duke.
Time that we had ever had any communication for the next
8 months.
8 months. All right, so that was January.
Then we spoke
Sorry.
in July.
Let me-
28th.
That was January.
Let me
The
pull
last
it back
time
a little
I saw
bit.
her, I was gonna drop what I had going on and just like, and then go to link up with some friends. And she said, okay, cool. Well, like the last time we spoke, we didn't end on bad terms. We didn't end on good terms. So
Yeah.
I think we should like fix that, right? And I'm like, okay, cool. I'm like, okay, cool. Let's do that. I'll hit you, when I leave here, right? But I can't make no promises because I already, I'm in motion on the streets already. My homies in town, so I already got plans. Although I did like her, she can't just like go out of my life and then come back in my life thinking that we just gonna pick up right where we left off like it wasn't nothing, right? And what's that?
Nothing. Keep going.
Like I said, right? She thought we was just gonna I was gonna drop what I had going on and just like.
Respectfully, you could have finished what you was doing and then make plans with me. But
Okay. That's fair. So anyway, that didn't come to fruition, right? Long story short, right? We don't have to get into like the details of that night.
I'm going to stop it there a minute. This is where I had a problem with this. And if you don't want to chime in and come in on this part here, they haven't seen each other in 8 months. She's texted him at 2 in the morning. He's somewhere at rave with his friends, brethrens. She's texted him a drunk's text, and he must drop what he's doing for her. Okay. I think he was just being nice when he said, all right, yeah, point taken. No. So that's my problem with that part there. And I'll play it back for those who didn't hear.
Long story short, I didn't end up seeing her, so I already got plans. Although I did like her, she can't just like. I'm like, okay, cool, let's do that. I haven't spoken to her in 2 months, and she texted me out of the blue and was like, hey, like, what's going on? Like, what you doing? Or I'm like, yo, I'm actually going to a birthday party tonight, and then going to link up with some friends. And she said, okay, cool. Well,
so I'm going to pause this again. Thank you to everyone who's in the room. I'm going to wave to you all, to acknowledge that I know that you're all in the room. So the title is, how far would you go and have gone to get the one you want? Where I got this from this morning, if you don't know, on YouTube, is Chanel and Duke. They're two great couples. I absolutely love them. If you want to know the whole story from beginning, then you're going to need to go onto YouTube and follow Chanel and Duke. This is the update, because they've left us hanging for about a year of how they reconnected. Because they got together which Duke done the running. No, I'll let you go and watch it. Anyhow, they broke up and then got back together. And this is them telling the story for us to how they got back together. So this is where I now was listening today to the update of how they got back together. And I want to know from my viewers and listeners, how far would you go or have gone to get the one you want? Either to get them to chase in the beginning, if you had a break and got back together, who done the chasing? And how was it? Or would you be a person who just say, you know something? Nah, that's it. Once it's over, finish, kaput. Just dash away my number. Anyway, I'm going to continue it so you can get the gist. So if you don't got any comments, please just add in the comment section so I can see what's going in. And if you want to come up and have your say, press that thing and then you can come up live and talk with me. I was meant to be recording, but I've got 3 platforms going here. I said, all right, let me switch it up a little. Also as well, we're on Clubhouse 2. I'll just show you. I will get back to it. Let me just show you. If you don't know what Clubhouse is, this is where we're at right now. There was people's come in and come out. This one, you can only speak on this one. You can't see nothing. Everyone just goes in here and speaks. So, yeah. So we're on 3 platforms. We're on Clubhouse, Facebook Live, and Instagram Live. And as you see, the title is, how far would you go or have gone to get the one you want? Okay, let's continue with Duke and Chanel.
I did.
Right?
I did, because the
I
last...
guess 2 on 1, right? She wanted the hoorah, and she wanted the conversation, the closure or the opening conversation.
Yeah, because I usually...
Can you all see clearly?
So it's early 2018 at this point. It's January, right? I'm in New York, getting ready to come back to LA, and I haven't spoken to her in 2 months. And
Sorry.
she texted me out of the blue and was like, "Hey, like, what's going on? Like, what you doing?" Or I'm like, "Yo, I'm actually going to a birthday party tonight, and then going to link up with some friends." And she said, "Okay, cool. Well, like, the last time we spoke, we didn't end on bad terms. We didn't end on good terms. So,
yeah.
You know, I think we should like fix that, right?" And I'm like, "Okay, cool." I'm like, "Okay, cool. Let's do that. I'll hit you, you know, when I leave here, right?" But I can't make no promises because I already, you know, I'm in motion on the streets already. You know, my homie's in town, so I already got plans. Although I did like her, you know, she can't just like go out of my life and then come back in my life thinking that we just gonna pick up right where we left off like it wasn't nothing, right? And what's that?
Nothing.
Like I said, right? I was just gonna drop what I had going on and just like.
Respectfully, you could have finished what you was doing and then make plans with me. But
Okay. That's fair. So anyway, that didn't you know come to fruition, right? Long story short, right? We don't have to get into like the details of that night. Long story short, I didn't end up seeing her, right? She wanted me to see her that night, but I just didn't end up seeing her, and then that was the last time that we had ever had any communication for the next
8 months.
8 months. All right, so that was January.
Then we spoke again in July 2018.
That was January, but the last time I saw her, I should say, was in November. It was in November.
November 2017.
Yeah, November 2017. The next time we really spoke, had a conversation after that was July 2018.
Yes.
Okay. And then you want to pick up?
Yeah, because
Go ahead.
it's my time.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, just so happened this day, I'm out with my girls. It's my friend Ashley's birthday. It's my best friend. And we're lit. We're having a great time. Hennessy all night, okay? Hennessy shots. And for whatever reason, Ashley always was fond of Duke. And
Why?
I think that her thing was that y'all look so good together.
Right.
Like, she would always say that to me, and I was like, it's not about looks. Everything that glitters isn't gold. And, you know, but he was a good guy. Like, I knew that I kind of, like, said some things I shouldn't have said to him.
What's the one of those things, though? Because
Why are we doing that? Why are we doing that?
Before you
Because this is about how we reconnected. I don't want to... I'm triggered.
Okay, well, what'd you say?
I told you...
I'm going to stop a minute at that. This is where they're talking about how they got back together. You're going to get triggered. You're going to get triggered. Because you're going over pain. You're going over hurt. Especially if you was in the wrong. You're doing a video for everyone, for the world who's going to be watching. You're going to get triggered. It is what it is. Zip it. Do the thing so people are seeing. Am I hard-hearted? Let me know. You're going to get triggered. Let him speak. Talk it out. We know what's going on for those of us who've watched before. So you're going to get triggered. So now, come on. The story's continuing. Hush it and get on. But I like how he is. He's calm. He's really calm. He's a Gemini, the same as me. This is why I say the Gemini men are a whole lot better than Gemini women. They're calmer. Me, it would have been, what? She's lucky. He's one of the calmer Geminis. Unless she hasn't seen that other twin. Okay, sorry. Let's continue.
Okay, what else you say? You said lose my what?
Lose my...
Sorry, I never take it back for you.
And, you know, but he was a good guy. Like, I knew that I kind of, like, said some things I shouldn't have said to him.
What's the one of those things, though?
Why are we doing that? Why are we doing that?
Before you...
Because this is about how we reconnected. I don't want to... I'm triggered.
Okay, well, what'd you say?
I told you to lose my number.
Okay, what else you say? You said lose my what?
Lose my...
She said, thanks for wasting my fucking time.
Oh, yeah, okay, that.
She said, thanks for wasting my fucking time.
Why you always doing it? Get your head off my back.
We gotta paint the picture. We gotta paint the picture.
They saw what was said in the previous video.
Okay, cool.
Okay, we coming in on a high note.
She said, lose my fucking numbers. Thanks for wasting my fucking time. So what I did, it was like, okay, well, like, I respect her word, so I took a step back.
Listen, I just want to put a disclaimer. New York girls, we're real cutthroat, real thorough, and New York men usually receive that type of energy. He's a Cali boy, and I didn't realize it until I said it, and I was like, oh, I'm not getting my way. Like, he's not receiving this energy.
When you say receive...
Did you hear that? She's used to getting her way. So, allegedly, the New York brothers, they would argue back with her. He was like, no, I'm gone, bye. So that stumped her. So, to me, that's toxic. You're used to toxicity. Why would you want a man to be, or why would you want the man, or why would the man want the woman to be, what's the word I'm looking for? Someone help me. What's the word I'm looking for? Stalking you. After someone said it's over, be gone, go, bye-bye. Why would you want the man to say, I'm holding on to your number? Or why would the woman be, let me get it right. Why would the woman want the man to be holding on to her number? Why would the man want the woman to be holding on to his number after each of them has said, or one of them has said, that's my number. Bye. From you tell me that's your number's gone. But you know something? You don't even have to tell me that, because my number will be gone anyway. You won't be able to get hold of me. Unless you're going to get hold of me through the social network. But my number's going to, 99.9% of the time, if me and the man done, my number's changed anyway. So, you won't be able to get hold of me. So, no man won't be able to say that to me. That would be the worst thing you could say. Because I'll block you on every flipping thing you follow me on. So you'd never be able to get hold of me. That would be the last words gone. So that's what I'm saying. This brother is cool. He's calm. He's collected. But as far as what you'll hear later on is that it wasn't his number that she got through to him. It was through one of the social networks, Snapchat or something like so. Anyway, I'm spoiling it, innit? Okay, let's carry on.
energy? What does that mean, though? Like,
because New York men usually, like, that's what they do. Like, fuck out of here. I'm not gonna lose your number, you know? It's just
fight back type shit.
Yeah, it's like, that's...
argue back type.
Yeah, okay. That's just the vibe that we usually be on. But, you know, you were different. And I appreciated that. And I realized that after some time. So, back to July 2018. Out with my girls, Ashley's birthday. We lit. And Ashley happened to ask me for whatever reason in the club, like, whatever happened to Duke? And I was like, why you keep asking about this guy? Why you keep asking about this man? And I was like, you know what? Let me text him. Let me see if he's going to respond. So I actually deleted his number. So I had to go through my FaceTime calls. And because he had an LA number, I knew that like 323 or 818 was one of his numbers. I think it was the 818 one. And I went to the FaceTime call and I texted him and I said, hey, Duke, this is 2 o'clock in the morning, East Coast time. I figured he's in LA. It's about 11 o'clock. It's not too late, but it's kind of too late to be hearing from someone after 8 months at that time, or whatever. I didn't really care. I was just playing games, right? Text him. A few minutes later, I got the text back. Can we cheers to that?
Cheers.
That's how I call that one a rebag. I bagged him back. Because at that point, if you're answering me after all these months, I knew that there's some chance, just some chance that we could, reconnect.
Is that
One, I heard her saying it's something like it's a game, it's a joke. What the heck? And it's 2 a.m. 2 a.m. to someone you ain't seen in 8 months. He was with his woman. How disrespectful. That, number one, I'm looking at all this and saying, No. First, it's 2 o'clock in the morning. Secondly, you don't know who he's with. You ain't connected with him 8 months. And you're now on drunk texting him at 2 o'clock in the morning. So like he was with someone. He's found someone else now. And that would have caused friction in his relationship. Now he hasn't done anything. You FaceTimed him on top of it? Wow. At 2 a.m. on a drunk text. None of the man could be with a woman in his bed or out with his woman to cause argument. Wow.
Rebag or a bag? Because that was the first time bagging him, so that's going to count as a rebag.
Well, you bagged me, and then I rebagged you.
You can't rebag something you never bagged in the first place.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
So I bagged the bag.
Okay.
Whatever you want to call it.
Return the bag.
I returned the bag. Reverse.
Okay, reverse.
Hit you with a reverse.
Okay.
Yeah. So, do you want to pick up from here?
What
did you say?
Then what happened? Go ahead.
Okay, so it was a real platonic conversation, and I can't remember the full details of the conversation, but I just remember him responding, and he was like, "Hey, Chanel," and I think I might have said long time no speak.
Talk all your shit. Right?
I really don't remember the text.
Okay.
I don't remember the text, but I'm sure you do because Duke has great memory.
Okay.
But I know that it was a platonic conversation.
Let me tell you, people. You see? Sorry. Where she goes, he's got a good memory. That's me, Gemini. I remember everything. Everything is there. I'm selective memory. If I need to take up anything that you said to me or anything that's done, it's coming up. Boom, 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 boom. And that's a Gemini thing.
World. There was nothing crazy coming from the conversation. We ended it on a note where it was like, that let's catch up tomorrow or let's catch up later in the week type thing. But I just felt like the energy from that conversation, even though it was a small amount of energy, I was like, there's some potential here. Like, we might be able to talk again and patch things up, and maybe I might see him again. Who knows? And that kind of kick-started everything.
Yeah.
That kick-started everything after that night. The next day, we spoke on the phone? Did we speak on the phone?
I think so. Maybe. I don't know if it's next day, but I think maybe when I got back to California.
Yeah, so he happened to also, he wasn't even in Cali at the time when I texted him. He was in ATL. Because during the conversation, he did tell me that he was out at the club or something. And so I was like, damn. I guess he probably knows I'm kind of lit right now, and that's why I texted him. But I don't really care about all the details of that. I was just like, my friend mentioned him, I text him, and it was just that. It was simple. I know that if I get a response from him after all this time, that there's a potential for us to have a conversation.
Right.
I can't say that I text him back looking for anything. There was no intention in the text. It was 2:00 in the morning. I'm lit with my friends in the club, and it was just
Can this be seen properly?
Yeah,
on both platforms.
So that's how it was, literally.
Okay.
But everything that happened after the fact was,
there we go.
You know, over time things got more intentional and turned it up. And I know you about to try to kill me with your little timeline because you remember things more than I do.
I'm not trying to kill you, baby.
But
I'm not trying to kill you.
I'm gonna give you the floor.
Okay, so.
Because I want to hear.
Okay. So before I jump into my part, you guys go ahead and subscribe to our channel. Hit the subscribe button. Make sure you tap into everything, so you never miss any of our posts, man. We're trying to grow, get the word out about us and share what we got going on. So help us out, man. Hit the subscribe button.
And if you guys can relate to any of the moments that have happened so far, please drop a comment down below. Talk all your shit, okay?
Let's take it back a little bit. All right, let's kind of talk about that gap. All right.
Sorry to stop it. I know those of you are already into it, or if you're into it already, thank you for those who are coming in. We're watching. Let me wave to you as I wave to everyone who comes in the rooms. Manners, respect her manners, 24/7, 365. Thank you for tuning into GeminiCandyChatBout. Sorry. Right, I'm playing you an excerpt from Chanel and Duke. I've been watching them for like over a year, I think, something like that. So anyway, I don't know if you've seen the title before you've come in in the room. If you want to come in on the camera, you can, because it's saying bring them on camera on Facebook. So whoever's coming, I don't know if you touched that you want to come in on the camera, but it's saying if you want to come in on the camera. Anyways, the title is, we're on 3 platforms at the moment. We're on Facebook, Instagram, and ClubHouse. So the title is, if you haven't seen it, how far would you go or have gone to get the one you want? So that's either in the initial first chase, or if you've broken up to get them back. How far would you go, or how far have you gone? Yeah. And for those who wasn't tuned in right at the beginning, on Clubhouse, someone came in and was saying he's never had to do that with women. They're always chasing him. So I said, go on with it. He's never had to do it. So that's what he said. So allegedly, that's how it went. Okay, we'll get back to Chanel, because this is where initially I was watching today, and I said, all right, let me bring this up as a chat bout. Yeah, met me chat. So if anybody wants to come up on the camera, please let me know so I can bring you up. And if in the comment section, write in the comment section if you can like, share, subscribe, invite your friends, family into this talk. I know it's late. And let me know where you are, where you're listening, where you're watching from, because I'm over here in England, in London. On Clubhouse, it was over in the States, so we're all around the world at this precise moment in time. So I'd love to know where you're from. And I know on Facebook definitely there's people from all over the world on my Facebook. I know that for a fact. Everywhere. I know some people don't even speak English, but they're on. So thank you so much, and I appreciate it. Appreciate it very much. Thank you so much. So anyway, let's continue with Dookie and Chanel's. Shall I take it back, little piece?
Subscribe to our channel. Hit the subscribe button. Make sure you tap into everything, so you never miss any of our posts, man. We're trying to grow, get the word out about us and share what we got going on. So help us out, man. Hit the subscribe button.
And if you guys can relate to any of the moments that have happened so far, please drop a comment down below. Talk all your shit, okay?
All right, so let's take it back a little bit. All right, let's kind of.
So, Pete, I keep on stopping this, but I'm going to need to, in case, so you can see what's going on live. Sugar, sorry. Oh. I need to see that I haven't got people down in the room on ClubHouse. This is what ClubHouse is looking like. If you're not subscribed to ClubHouse, you can join in there, but you can't. It's only talking on here. You can't see nobody or nothing. It's just pictures. So people come in and out. So this is what I'm saying. We're on 3 platforms: ClubHouse, Facebook, and Instagram Live, simultaneously at this precise moment in time. So thank you everyone for coming in. We'll get back. Let's put this back down and let's get back to Shannon Dookie. Right, let's just make sure we've got them in line.
Talk about that gap. All right, so we stopped talking in November essentially, right? Then it picked back up till July, like you said, right?
July 2018.
In those 8 months, there was absolutely zero communication. There was no communication, no banter, no text, no
Instagram,
nothing, right? We lived on 2 opposite coasts, so it was very easy to stay out each other's way. We didn't have any mutual friends.
Nope.
So it was literally, like this person was someone you're dating for some time, and then absolutely like nothing. You know what I mean?
Which is crazy.
It's crazy that it's actually that's an actual thing. That's normal. But so I'm in Atlanta, and
what you was doing in Atlanta?
At that time, there was this flag football tournament that the NFL. Well, there was like
Babe, it's okay. I was being.
I'm just not paying the details for that.
Okay.
But that's not important. It's not important.
I don't think so.
Okay, cool. So I'm in Atlanta, right? And I was out, and I was with O, and Candace was out there, and we was at this club, and I get a text, and it's like, "Hey, Duke." All right. So it says, "Hey, Duke." I know Chanel's number, right? Why do I know her number? Because
wait, so you deleted my number too?
I told you I deleted your number. You knew I deleted your number.
Wait, what?
Stop.
No, I did not know that.
All right, so look.
Why would you delete my number?
Oh, loyal voice. Loyal tone.
You can get hit.
Loyal tone.
Okay. Wow,
so
that's
listen,
crazy.
So listen, because back in...
I don't think I remember that.
Back in November, she said, lose my number.
Oh, God.
Right? So
you actually listened.
So, me, like, if she tell me to lose your number, like, all right, I respect that. So I lost her number. But I had 2 phones at the time when we were dealing with each other, right? And both phones would receive a message, and one phone would show me her name, and the other phone would show me her number. So I used to see her number, the visual, all the time, right? So I knew what her number looked like. So when she texted me...
I'm going to stop that. Pause it, rather. Did you hear what he said? They were dealing with each other. So they wasn't in a relationship. They were dealing. So they were in a situationship. Situationship, not a relationship. Listen to what's going on properly. So when I'm talking, you can get where I'm coming from. Because then you got situationship, not relationship, sorry. That's when you're in a proper relationship. You're one-to-one, you're proper, like that. Your situationship, you're kind of so. You might be going somewhere. You might have the friends with benefits. And then you got the dealing, which is whenever somebody else comes along. That's the same with friends with benefits. But he literally said they were dealing. So that is not a relationship. It's a situationship, or just the thing they're doing. They're just sexing. There, put it bluntly. They're basically just sexing. They were just sexing. That's what it was, dealing. They were just having sex. So let's carry on. In my view and opinion.
Right. First of all, there's only a few people that have a New York area code that I had relationships with at that time. And so when she texted me, she was like, "Hey, dude," right? I said, "What's up?" Like, it was just like, yo, it wasn't like
real cordial.
It wasn't like, no, hey, where you been, or damn, like, look who's texting me. It was just like, hey, dude. It was like Chanel. It was like, Chanel, what's up? It was like that. That was like my excitement, and it was just like, damn.
So you was excited to hear from me?
Of course, I was excited to hear from you.
Why?
Because we had unfinished business.
You deleted my number, so you would have been cool if somebody else would have swept me off my feet.
Is this your story or my story? Is your part or my part? Okay, cool.
Be nice.
So she texts me, right? Hey, Duke, and I'm like, yo, Chanel, what's up? And she's like, I forget like what kind of conversation it was, but it was something like, yo, like, I was just thinking about you, or just seeing what you're up to. I knew she was drunk because it was like 2 a.m., right? I didn't ask no questions, but nonetheless, I was happy to hear from her. I was happy, right? But I was out, so I was just like, yo, like, I'm not in a place where I can be texting on my phone right now, but like, I was happy to hear from you. We spoke for like 5 minutes. Boom, bang, thank you, man. All right, I said, yo, I'm gonna hit you probably tomorrow or the next day. So I hit her up the next day. We caught up. And then,
did we speak on the phone? Do you remember?
I don't think we spoke on the phone initially. Probably text. Chanel was not a phone or FaceTime person. She was a texter. And I was a phone FaceTime person.
Yeah, I think I'm still that way.
Right,
I still don't like FaceTime.
Right.
But I actually prefer you to call me now.
Right, so I was texting and stuff like that. And then it was late. It was mid-July, I think. Mid-July. We talking, I'm like,
No. Because Ashley's birthday is more towards the end of July.
Okay.
So
that's what I'm saying. So when we first texted,
no. Her birthday's in the beginning of July, so it was later. You're right. You're right.
So when we actually started speaking, by the time we actually like really started speaking, it was like, okay, like everything is all good, and I think we did address some things on the phone about how we ended, right? Because I wanted to get straight into that and talk about.
Yeah, you did.
Hey, before we move forward, let's just get this out the way, right?
Yeah,
that was going to be lingering. So we talked about that, and then after we got that out the way, and when we did talk about it, it was all good. It wasn't like, no, why you still bringing this up, or like, I feel it was just like, we were just adults.
Yeah.
We spoke about like
a lot
adults.
more mature.
And when we got that out the way, her birthday is August 27th, right?
Yes.
At that time, I knew her birthday was coming up, so I asked her, what are you doing for your birthday? All right.
I'm going to stop it again. She's a Virgo and he's a Gemini. So they are a match, but it's one of those where it can be kind of choppy sometimes. Yeah.
And she was like, I don't have no plans. And then she sent the little eyes emoji. She was like, why? You trying to do something? Right?
Because I'm trying to see you.
She said, yeah.
I'm trying to see you in person right here, right now.
She was like, why? You trying to do something? And I'm like, actually, yeah, shit, my homies is going to Mexico for a group trip, so if you want to roll, let's go. How that sound? She's like, I'm down, right?
And it was perfect because at the time I was working for the New York City Department of Education, and we had summers off, and we still got paid.
Right, so she's like, I'm down. Right, so I booked that flight. That flight is going to Mexico on the 24th or something like that, right? But before we go on that trip to Mexico, we got to make sure things is all the way right.
I think I should pick back up here.
Okay, go ahead. Come on, pick it up then.
Cheers, bro. You did good.
Pick it up.
It was accurate. He didn't tell no lies. So picking it back up, he books a trip to Mexico. And I'm like, before I go to Mexico with all his friends and everything, I need to make sure that we still got this connection, this chemistry. I think to make sure everything is still hitting the way it was back in 2017.
Oh, it's hitting high.
So I decided, I was like, I think I offered to come to LA.
Yeah, he was laughing.
I was like, I'm off of work right now. Like, I'm trying to come see you for a few days. Let me pull up to LA, whatever. Bought my ticket, flew out there. We arranged a date in the beginning of August. And I flew to LA. And my flight lands. I'm at LAX and I'm nervous. My hands are sweating because I'm like, what if I don't like him the way I used to like him before? What if things are different? Like, what if it's just not the same? And then when I saw him, like, my heart was...
Now, that's the thing. You ain't seen someone in months or years. And then you see them, then you're thinking, wow, you ain't even seen a picture of them update on their socials or anything. So... that must be nerve-wracking as hell. Because that's the person you liked before. That may not be the person that you're going to like now. So, but what I want to know, and which I'm going to have to put in the comments somewhere when I'm in this thing there on YouTube. Where did she stay? Did she go to his yard or did she stay in a hotel?
And I was so excited. I was so excited to see him because when I hugged him, it felt like, oh man, I missed you. Like, it felt so normal and perfect and like the same. Like, it didn't feel like I didn't see this man or speak to him for 8 months, which is crazy to me. So, picks me up. He has roses in the car, on the seat, like, did all of that sweet stuff. And it was on and popping from there.
It was on and popping for sure. It was on and popping. But I felt that we were going to pick up right where we left off just based on our conversation, you know, because I thought that...
No, but I just didn't know.
You know, it's kind of like when you practice something and you don't get it right, and you just take a step back from it and then come back to it, then you get it right. That's kind of how it felt, you know? Because when we got back together, it was just like, oh, there was like a level of transparency that we didn't necessarily have before, you know? And there was like just even vulnerability and saying, yo, and directness. It's like, yo, let's just talk about this right now, you know what I mean? Or this is how I feel, how you feel, or this is what I thought. You know, what do you think? And, you know, I think that kind of created this like level of trust. Even though we're still like kind of new again, it did create this level of trust that was like, okay, I think we should try this again.
Yeah.
And the second time around, when I picked you up from the airport, it was just like, oh, nothing's changed. You know, we're still affectionate. You know, we're still kissing and hugging. You know what I'm saying? Like right away. Like right away, you know what I'm saying?
You
Like grabbing her booty and shit.
Listen, like, it was too lusty in that first interaction, but
it was too lusty. But I wanted to see him, right? I really wanted to see him. I had all the condom, but it was too lusty. Lies. That's what you wanted. You wanted lusty. So try to fool the people that you wanted lusty. You wanted to see him. From the time you was calling him from 8 months time, whatever, and talking to him and whatever, you wanted lusty. You didn't want distance. You didn't want coldness. You wanted lusty. And as soon as you see him, you still fancy him as hell. You wanted lusty. I would want lusty. Can you imagine? You done all that and it's distance and cold. You're going to be deflated. So...
one thing I can say for sure, it was perfect. But one thing I can say for sure, just talking to my ladies, coming from like a woman's standpoint, sometimes, especially for me, I had a lot of like ego and like, I was just used to getting my way and I was used to just like, not necessarily doing things the right way, but it was just...
Now, this is the one thing I don't like. When people are talking, whether it's the male or the female, and they go, oh, coming from a female standpoint or coming from a male standpoint. No! Speak for yourself! You're not speaking for me. The female's not speaking for me. Speak for yourself, because when I'm saying something, I'm speaking for me. I'm not saying as a woman or as from the female standpoint, because I don't know about what our females do. I know what I do. I know what I'm thinking. I know what I'm feeling. So you can't talk for other women when you're speaking. Speak for herself. Okay. Okay.
It's like, you know, kind of like that princess treatment. Even though I shouldn't have told him to lose my number. I shouldn't have cussed at him, nothing like that. But like, I was able to reflect on that situation and take a step back and like think about like, if I was in his shoes, what would I do? Would I want me to be talking to him like that? And that allowed me to just apologize about what I said, and ultimately got us into this space where, you know, I was finally dealing with a man where we could have adult conversations and it's not no banter and no like no cattiness between us. He really was just like, he set the tone for the conversations going forward, because even now when we argue, we just talk. Like, he's not talking to me if I'm raising my voice. It's just about communicating effectively. So I just wanted to throw that out there in case, because I know a lot of y'all asked me like, what was the prayer, this, that, and the other, but this is not one of those situations where like I prayed for this man and things like that. It kind of was,
Can't really pray for something in someone else.
yeah, it was just like looking at myself and like looking at how the type of men that I deal with and what type of men I want to deal with, and just changing a lot of my bad habits, maturing.
Yeah, so I pick her up from the airport, we just go to lunch, spend the next 2 days, we just vibing, and then she leaves, right? And then when she leaves, I'm like, oh man, we back, you know? And then from there on, it's like, I mean, literally from that day, I've spoken to her every single day since, right? I've never not spoken to her, so like, then Mexico comes, take a group trip to Mexico, have a great time, have a ball in Mexico, and it's like, oh man, ain't nothing changed, you know? I mean,
it actually felt better.
It got better, actually, yeah, because it just felt more comfortable, more natural, and you know, then we start getting really serious about traveling and coming to see who, coming there. And I think when we were in Mexico, it's actually the first time that we went public.
Yes,
right?
it is.
And we weren't even together yet, but we were just dating seriously, exclusively dating. And
I remember that.
We just went public with a picture.
Yeah, we took a picture on the beach. I remember Duke actually asked me, he was like, you mind if I post this photo? And in my head, I was like, I don't mind, but like, you sure you want to do that? Because I knew that, like, I'm sure he was probably speaking to other people, and I knew that I had some untied business that I needed to get tied up, but it wasn't nothing serious, so I was like, I could live without that, so it was no pressure on me, but I just wanted to make sure he was good with that. And
I mean, it was such a good picture.
It was a good picture. We're actually going to insert that picture right now.
It was such a good picture, I couldn't even not post it, you know?
Like, come on.
I think I got so much heat for that too, but
yeah, he told me that.
Who cares?
Like, but you could have told me.
But no, and I really, that's how we kind of reconnected.
So if you are someone who is like in a similar situation, or you've dealt with this before, I really want y'all to use this as an opportunity to kind of like reflect by commenting down below. Tell us a funny story if you're comfortable sharing it, and like, I think that what we really want people to take away from our situation and how we got back into this point is just like, everything is about looking within yourself and figuring out how you can change things around, mature a little bit more, fix things, and even have that conversation with the person that you're being intimate with, or the person that you're talking to, because dating is tough, and you never know which way is it going to go. Is it going to go up? Is it going to go down? And I don't think I could ever see that I would be quitting my job, moving to LA, and now living with this little man. big man. But I would have never saw this coming for me. And I think that's the beauty of the journey. It's the beauty of the story. Like, you know, I didn't plan none of this, and it just all happened through living and learning and loving and just being honest with what I want, and him being honest with me about what he wants.
Yeah, I would also say that I think a lot of the things that we kind of went through could have been avoided if we would have just checked our ego.
Yeah.
Right? We talk a lot about the work we have to do on ourselves. and how we can improve ourselves. Part of that improvement process is removing ego, right? Or he's just acknowledging it and saying, yo, like, the problem is me. If both people take that assumption, it's like, yo, here's what I need to do to get better, then it makes the progress a little smoother. So we definitely could have avoided that. Also, you know, everyone's situation is different, and really at the core of it, then there are no like concrete rules that everyone should follow, and, you know, to make things happen for themselves. Because if you would have asked me, hey, would you talk to someone that you stopped talking to, like, or could you know, create a relationship with someone that you dated in the past and no longer talk to? I was like, nah, because once I'm done with someone, I'm done with somebody, right? I think a lot of people feel that way. It's just like, once I'm done and I'm moved on, then I'm moved on for good, right? That's like a real belief. But, you know, all the rules just aren't true. You know, everything is just contingent on your situation and, you know, your maturity level and where you are in life.
And I do agree with that. You can learn so much, and they're young. They're in their mid-20s. So obviously you're not at that age. Well, not me at that age. You don't want nothing heavy. You're light. You're learning about life. So obviously they're still learning because they're still growing. Now they ain't touched their 30s yet. She's younger than him, I think. Probably by a year or two, something like that. Ain't no big gap between wouldn't matter if it was, but there isn't that much of a big gap. But they're still in their 20s, they're still growing, still learning. So they've now learned. Kind of learned for them to be together. But the message they're getting through is, to me, a very good message. Yeah, it is. So let's continue because it's soon to the end.
Right. I think that's a big part of it. Where you are in life is it really can be a telltale to what else happens in your life. I was at a point where I was, you know, settling into my career, and I felt like, you know, I kind of wanted to settle down a bit more, and I was done with the partying and the dating around and having so much fun. But I also didn't see this coming. I thought we were just going to have another fun moment because I was still living in New York when we actually decided to make it official.
And fellas, man, you can create the type of relationship you want to have, right? I know a lot of times we feel like, man, women aren't liking us, or women aren't responding the way we want to respond, or doing things, or, you know, all that stuff, right? But you can create the type of relationship, right? You can lead by example. You can be forthcoming with information. You can be transparent and vulnerable. And 9 times out of 10, someone's going to lead. I mean, someone's going to kind of follow your lead if you're someone that's trustworthy. All right, so just believe that.
Yes.
But right now, all right, before we get out of here, please subscribe to the channel, y'all.
Please. We are trying to grow our YouTube channel now that we are back full throttle, trying to hit 1 million.
And there you have it. If you've got anything to contribute, Facebook, everything, it's... I have to apologize for that one. It's clicked itself off there because I'm using so much data. So, like, good thing these ones are still going. So if you have anything to input on this, and hope it's given you've learned something. If you're watching here, listening, and yeah, just hopefully you've learned and this is something. If you've got anything to say in the comment section, if you want to come up and put your input into into ChatBout. So how far would you go or have gone to get the one you want? So at the beginning, the chase, if you had a split to get the person back, did you get them back or did it not happen? How far would you go? That's the question. So I think Chanel and Duke put it nicely at the end there. So if you want to see more, you see there's from the beginning of when they was talking about, then go and follow them on YouTube and then you get the whole gist of what was going on there. But yeah, I thought this was a good topic to come in and see, because I think relationships, and I think through 2020 when the world was in lockdown, I think it was hard again. Right, for those who have survived that as well, wow, just staying inside or going to work, home, no socialization, work, home, shop. It was so any relationship that survived that, because you couldn't go nowhere and you was under each other's foot, must be, and they stayed solid like that. Some split, which is understandable. So those that have stayed solid, I've got to say they're really strong, because that was hard to be living with anybody, and besides your children, if you've got children or a child, but to be a partner, you're under each other's foot 24/7. You couldn't even go for a walk, they'll stop you. So I speak up the people who's the relationship has survived through that, and those who got married, congrats to those who got married too. I'm not the marrying type. No. Live together, yeah. Me and my man, yeah, we can live together. Married? No. I'm an atheist. Point blank, period. Anyway, I'm not in no religion, none of that. And I'm not telling them to do nothing. So, yeah, to those get married, try it. That's you. But yeah, relationships are. It's something you got to work on daily. Whether you're married or you're living together or you're just seeing, it's something that's got to get worked on daily. You can play as much as you want. You're still going to have to work on it. Either way, or you're going to be paying out your pocket. Well, the men will be paying out their pockets. So you might as well make it worth it if you're paying out your pocket. My view and my opinion. Might as well make it worth it. Because you're going to pay one way or the other, or you're going to be paying child support for 18 years. So, or some kind of contribution if you're going to do that. So either way, so for men thinking they're going to just get the woman's underneath pussy free, you're going to pay one way or the other. One way or the other, you're going to pay. But, back to the title. How far would you go, or have you gone to get the one you want? Has anybody got input? Do you want to come up and have a conversation with me? Because I know you can put this thing onto 4, 5. People can add and come in. Pardon me. So if you want to come up and have your say, that'd be greatly appreciated. You're tuning to GeminiCandyChatBout. And yeah. What I would usually do is read out some star signs as well. This one, there's no feedback or anything on this, so I might keep it going, just because keep the room open on I keep forgetting it, on Clubhouse, because that's just the room, that's just staying open, and then might come back with reading the star signs for tomorrow. Yeah, I think I will do that, because the Facebook here was cut off, and I know there's people on there like, oh my gosh, she's gone, oh my gosh. So they wanted to see the ending. So yeah, I think so. If you want to go over to Clubhouse, if you haven't subscribed to Clubhouse, you can go onto GeminiCandyChatBout. You need to download the app, and I'm at ChatBout GC. So, yeah, if you want to get involved there, and thank you for coming. I'm going to end this live now. Thank you for joining Gemini Candy on ChatBout. And either I haven't seen any comments or no comment hasn't come through. Either way, thank you for being there, because I can see you. I see everyone. For those who contributed in Clubhouse, thank you so much. Facebook, great stuff. Thank you. So I think, yeah, I'm going to shut this one down, and they're going to come back with reading the star signs. Get into my zone. So thank you for being here. And I am out. Thank you. Bye.